Okay, so let me tell you about my worst first day of school. It was the start of my sophomore year, and I had just transferred to a new school. I barely knew anyone, and to make it worse, I didn't even get to sit with anyone at lunch. So, I walked into the cafeteria feeling like the new kid on the block, completely awkward. I tried to play it cool, you know? I grabbed my tray, scanned the room, and found a spot at an empty table. But of course, I had to make the entrance memorable, right? So, as I was walking to the table, I somehow managed to trip over my own shoelace. I mean, I didn't just stumble. I face-planted into the floor and sent my lunch flying across the room. The entire cafeteria went silent. It was like time slowed down. I could feel every single pair of eyes on me. My lunch, pasta, a drink, the whole thing was splattered across the floor. I wanted to crawl into a hole and disappear. But then this kid from across the room, a total stranger, stands up and starts clapping. He was like, "Nice save," with this huge grin on his face. And before I could even process what was happening, the whole cafeteria starts clapping. I just stood there, frozen, and thought, is this really happening right now? They were all watching me, and I didn't know if I should cry or laugh. So I did what any confused person would do in that situation. I laughed. I mean, what else was I supposed to do? I grabbed my tray, embarrassed as heck, and shuffled to an empty table. I thought I was safe, but no, here comes that same kid from earlier. He sits down across from me, grinning like he's been waiting for this moment his whole life, and says, "You dropped your fork." I look down, and nope, not my fork. It was his. He had just put it on my tray as a joke. I stared at him for a second like, "Did you really just do that?" And he just laughed. He was like, "You've got to be ready for anything on the first day, right?" Honestly, I was so done at that point. But we ended up talking the rest of lunch, and by the end of the week, we were best friends. Turns out he was one of the coolest people I met there. Who knew? Looking back, it's still embarrassing, but it's also kind of hilarious now, and honestly, that kid, best thing that ever happened on my first day.